What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new video. Obviously this has nothing to do with my last video because this is pertaining to sports. That last video was pertaining to music, but however, we're back and I want to talk to you guys, as you can tell by the title, about a rookie that's been kind of overlooked, which is weird to me, and his name is Devin Booker. I don't think he should be Rookie of the Year. However, I do think he should be considered at least for a couple of votes. This kid, let me just explain to you why. This kid, I really cannot understand why he's being overlooked, but I'm gonna try my best to explain to you why he shouldn't be overlooked. So advanced stats are hard to understand, for me at least, but I'm gonna try my best to dig out what I can and really try to show you guys what I'm trying to say. So let's begin. I want to say that Devin Booker should be considered for a couple of votes because in the beginning of the season, Kristaps Porzingis, Karl Anthony Towns, Jahlil Okafor, all these guys had pretty good starts and are having even better, ongoing seasons, and that's mainly due to the fact that these guys have been getting just serious minutes. Not to say that they're not skilled players, that would be dumb. Like, they're obviously skilled players, but they had a little bit more time to grow, and they right out the gate they were able to just get on the court and gain that experience. Devin Booker in the beginning of the season obviously was playing behind two really good guards, two all-star guards, and Brandon Knight, Eric Bledsoe. These are guards that are just good. Like, they're just straight good. You put them on any team and they're gonna contribute. They're flat out scorers. They can distribute, they defend, they make your team better. So obviously you're not gonna put in a rookie who really hasn't transferred his game to that speed yet, to that 82 game season, and really trained his body to that. Whereas you have two guards in front of him that are just monsters. They're young, they're youthful, they can do just as well, if not better. So that's probably the most realistic reason why Devin Booker did not get any burn. But however, Eric Bledsoe and Brandon Knight both sustained injuries, and let me just say before I go into this that during his stint as a backup, he was only averaging about 11 minutes per game and only about 10 points. I'm not gonna lie, 10 points, 11 minutes, the correlation there is pretty good. We already knew coming out of college he was a gunner. He could shoot the ball from anywhere on the court. We already knew he could pass the ball. We already knew he could rebound and defend because he was doing this on a regular basis in Kentucky. So we had no question about it, but he had a small sample size, so we really didn't know if this was something he could do consistently, right? So 11 minutes per game, 10 points per game, pretty good shooting percentages of let's see from the field. I think he shot 42% from the three-point line. He shot 37 or 38. That's pretty, his three-point percentage is pretty average in the beginning, but that's usually what happens with rookies. Their shooting starts to get better towards, after the All-Star break. But these two did sustain injuries, and they couldn't turn to anyone else. If you look at the Phoenix Suns roster, their roster was guard heavy, but after Isaiah Thomas left, after Goran Dragic left, they were stuck with one guard that's very injury prone in Eric Bledsoe, and Brandon Knight, he's not injury prone but is known for getting injuries at some point. So he did actually get one, obviously, and so did Eric Bledsoe, who got a season-ending injury. So once they threw in Devin Booker into the Wolves, his first game, I remember this because this is what made me a fan. I mean, I was always a fan from Kentucky, but I just want to make sure his game transferred before I started telling everybody this guy's a beast. But they threw him right in against the Dallas Mavericks. I remember this. They were at home. They wore the black jerseys too. This game was good. It was a good game, and Devin Booker comes in the game and drops 15 on I think he made 7 out of 14 shots, which is 50%, and I think he made 2 threes. So he right out the gate, literally first game, came in and started getting buckets. So, and not to mention, I think he had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. So pretty good all-around game for him for his very first game. And from that first game on, I already knew this kid was going to be a monster. He's a smooth criminal. He has a smooth game. He plays within himself. He's really patient. I love that he's patient. And yes, rookies are going to chuck because that's what they do. So obviously some games he might be shooting 40% where he could be shooting 45%, 50%. Yeah, that happens, but that happens with everybody. So I don't even want to hear that. But then as the season progressed and we started to see that he's really getting comfortable with this game, he formed a really nice connection with Tyson Chandler. Alex Len ended up blooming out of nowhere. They had a really good game against the Golden State Warriors. That game was super underrated. Brandon Knight actually was playing alongside Booker. Both of them had really good games. Brandon Knight was wilding that game, and Len had a really good game too. So that little core right there, that could work, man. And then if you look at his stats per 36 minutes for this season, Devin Booker, for the games that he started, 42 games, he's averaging 17 points per game, 3 assists per game. Total rebounds, I think he's also averaging 3 rebounds. So he's also shooting 85% from the free throw line, 47% from the 2-point line, and 35% from the 3-point line. So those stats alone, in my opinion, for a rookie guard at age 19, only what is this? Only his 1 year of college? What? That's good. I don't care what nobody says. That's great stats, and he's out here proving people wrong, because I really felt like people thought he would be a Klay Thompson 2.0, but in my opinion, and I'll get to this in another video because I know I'm about to catch hate for this, but I really do believe Klay Thompson is super overrated. I feel like he's two-dimensional in terms of his offensive and defensive capabilities, but offensively, in a way, he is one-dimensional, considering that all he does is literally shoot. I think he had a game last night where he had 40 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists. How, like aside from the 40 points, obviously that's a crazy stat total, like, but 0 assists and you're on the Warriors, I don't know, man. That's kind of shaky. I don't know. And he's had too many games like that where he's like a little shaky. And that Spurs game really pissed me off. But we'll get into that in the next video. But I really feel like Devin Booker is really a mixture between Klay Thompson and Bradley Beal. But then he has his little own spin because he's such a smooth player. Bradley Beal also brings that smooth criminal type feel to his game also. But he's too injury prone. While Devin Booker, he hasn't sustained any injuries. He plays physical, plays hard. He gives buckets. Like, that's what he does. And I feel like based on that, and not to mention that there hasn't been, besides Anthony Towns, Porzingis, and him, and obviously Okafor, that have really stood out to me, that really have really given me that stud, that star, future star like impression. Really, I can't see it for anyone else just yet. However, obviously, it usually takes about 3 years for most rookies to bloom and really become like a true complete player. You get to see like where their ceiling can go after their 3rd year. So I won't jump to any conclusions. But for this guy, Devin Booker, he's going to be a star, man. He's going to be a stud. And I think the last game when they played against the Lakers, well, they played against the Kings last game, but the last game they played against the Lakers, Kobe had like 17 points, Booker had like 28, and he's just confident, man. I just really believe in him, and I really feel like that by the time his career is over, he's gonna be rated high at his position. I don't know if he's gonna be a champion or anything. I'm not gonna jump to that, but I just know that he's gonna be a really, really good player. He's above solid, in my opinion, just based on potential. He's at that point, man. He's at that point that most players would be at after their like 3 years in their rookie season, but he's already there. So if we see what he's doing now, imagine what he'll be doing in the next 5 years. What if he leaves the Suns and goes on a playoff contender team? Now we're talking like big time. We're talking about this kid's gonna be a stud, man. That's all I can say. I think this was pretty quick. I just wanted to get this off my chest because this kid is just nice, and I'm tired of talking to people about him and no one really like understanding what I'm trying to say. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little video. Please give me your thoughts on what you think on how you think Devin Booker is going to succeed or fail in the NBA. I love to have these conversations. Make sure you check out my social medias in the description down below. I'll also send a link to like a couple of articles that I read about him. Maybe if you want to get to know him, you know, understand his game. And also I'll put a link to some highlight videos of him too, so you can get to see how he plays. So yeah, this is Teen Talk signing out. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.